Hey guys, just came on here. I promised maybe a week ago that I was going to do a live video to kind of get an idea of like who I am and why I started this group and uh, everything Friday the 13th. So just gotta wait for some people to show up. Hey, hey Billy Johnson Smith. Hi. Thank you for the thumbs up. I promised a couple days ago I was gonna do a live video to kind of let people know how this group got started. It says we've only been active for 11 years, but it's a little misconception. This group is actually about 15 years old. Um, Something happened back in the day before you could do like private, public and everything. Once you hit a certain stage, it would lock. And when you become a locked group, no one could see you. Like if people were searching for Friday the 13th, they couldn't find you. So I had to stop that group after like 3 years, and that group was actually called Camp Crystal Lake Alumni. A lot of people refer to it as CCLA. So then I opened this group. In this group, I renamed to Friday the 13th Alumni. And if anybody wants to hear the story of how this group got started, let me know, because it's a kind of a cool story. And it has something to do with a Friday the 13th alumni is how this got started also. So, hey Alan, I see you watching. I promised everybody I'd be going live at some point, so I have the day off today. I feel good. Figure like my hair's a little messy, but I need a haircut. I don't like to let my hair grow too much. I don't know about anyone else. I like to. Oh, and I'm wearing, for the occasion, Friday the 13th 5 shirt. And I also have the 5 mask up there too. Someone custom made that mask for me. And I also have this right here. And the autographs are from Kane Hodder and Adrian King. And yes, I know Adrian King never came across to Jason with the mask, but she happened to be at the same convention, and I just thought it'd be cool to get her name on it. So, I mean, she loved the fact that Kane Hodder, she kind of tried to sign it as close to Kane Hodder's name as possible, which was cool. And she gave me a kiss on the cheek. Hey, Thomas, how you doing? Well, if you guys want to invite your friends to join this, I'll let people in the group know that we're live, and I wish I knew how to click invite people. I think I do, but it take away from talking to you guys, so maybe people will see this, and maybe and whoever doesn't come in, I'll tag this, and I'll tag it to the group, so people can watch it another time. So, if anybody's watching still, I see it says 2 people. How you guys doing? It's not just about me, it's about all of us. Come on, give us a shout out, say hi. I know you're watching, so it tells me when people show up. It says, first it said Billy Dodson Smith, and it says Alan Albee, and I'm gonna butcher your last name, my buddy, my guy, Thomas Puglisi. Puglisi. I hope I didn't butcher that, man. I probably did. I'm terrible at name pronunciations. I don't think any of the Friday the 13th alumni have any like difficult names. Why is it they always give like movie characters like easy names to remember? Tommy or like yeah, Trish. There we go. Nice, easy, common name. Hey, Jeremy, doing good. Watching on my break time. Cool. Yeah, I just let that one. Before you're still here, I'm going to tell the story of how this group got started. So, about 15 years ago, um, I was just learning how to open up groups. I had a couple groups, but nothing like major. And I get a message from Tom Fridley, of all people. And Tom Fridley, of course, who plays Court from Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. And he had an idea. He knew nothing about opening groups, and he saw that I was promoting a lot of my groups at the time. And he wanted to open up a group where alumni and fans can, kind of discuss it, have a good time. And so he called me. I gave him my phone number. We talked for a while. Man, the guy sounds just like his uncle John Travolta. He sounds just like him. But so he came up with the idea. I came up with the name, and at the time the name was called Camp Crystal Lake Alumni, and a lot of people refer to it as CCLA for short. But yeah, it was his idea. It was his brainchild, and so he invited some people on his behalf. I invited a lot of my friends on my behalf, and now what we call Friday the 13th Alumni was born out of that. So hey, Robert. I see Robert Sandage watching. Robert's part of a lot of my groups. Anyways, so that group went on for about 3.5 years, and somehow the group got locked. And back in the day, there was three options. There was public, private, and lock. Once you got to the lock stage, you couldn't go backwards. You couldn't unlock it. So now people searching for a place to talk about Friday the 13th couldn't find me. I had to invite everybody. So it became a standstill. Sorry. So I ended up closing up that group. And I let Tom Fridley know about that. And I reopened this group now we call Friday the 13th Alumni. And that's how it was born. And, along the way, either Tom Fridley invited the alumni, or like I went searching on my own. I went group by group. I went movie by movie, and to see who, might still have an active Facebook account, and I'd messaged them politely before I invited them, because back then, when you invited somebody, they became part of the group right away. And now when you send an invite to someone, it just invites them, but they have to click accept to be part of the group. So out of respect, I would invite them. I would message them and invite them to join the group. Most have been very forthcoming and saying, "Yeah, thank you so much." Blah blah blah. And there was a few that were kind of rude about it. Well, I won't name names, and but I understand because a lot of them are still still busy or doing the convention scenes, and I'll probably get like hundreds of messages every day. So I get it. Never held any ill will, This is for fun, and the alumni that have joined and still post every once in a while, like Ari Lehman posts once in a while, and Melanie Kinnaman, uh, uh, who else? David Kadam sometimes will, give a shout out, or Bill Randolph, which I love Bill. Bill's great. Hey, Jason. And so, yeah, that's how this group was born, out of the brainchild of Tom Fridley, of all people, Court. So, I always give him his flowers. If you watch this, Tom, much love, man. you're one of my favorite people because you're always pretty forthcoming, and you've always been very receptive to when we tag you, and always been very gracious. So, and I will be giving some more shout outs soon. If you guys been part of the group, last month I've been putting like thank yous and stuff to some of the alumni that have joined us because they don't have to be here. They get so much messages every day. I remember who Laura Park Lincoln, rest her soul. Laura was part of the group for a while, and we miss her. But I remember her screenshotting her inbox for me one time, and all the messages that she gets like that she got on a daily basis was crazy. But yet she still found time to come in the group every once in a while, or like thank everybody for their support. She was one of our biggest supporters, and feels empty here without her. So much. Let's give our props to Law Park Lincoln because what a sweetheart she was. But anybody got to meet? I didn't get to meet her, so it. I lived vicariously through you guys' eyes who got to meet her because. And of course, I gotta always remember my girl Adrienne King, and I have met Adrienne King. Adrienne's always been a very big supporter of this group, and love her. And like I said, I did get a autograph of Adrienne King on that mask. Adrienne, yes, I know Adrienne wasn't part of the movies with the mask. I know that, so don't come at me. She wanted to sign the mask because she saw that Kane Hodder signed it, and she always wanted to try to get an autograph close to Kane. So, and I think it's still cool, So, hey Sam, I see Sam Sexton watching. Guys, like I said, Sam, if you missed the story about how the group started and want to know about it, just give me a shout out because it's a cool story. And so Friday the 13th alumni has gone on for 11 plus years now, and we're working to year 12. I think the 12th anniversary will be in April. So, and like I said, the past group that we were all part of before, if you've been here for a while, was 3.5 years. So altogether, it's been like 15.5 years. So, and we're not slowing down. We're trucking on. We've lost some good admins along the way. So, and my boy Curtis. I know Curtis is still watching us, and that's why I've added a couple people lately. Because over the years, we've gone through a lot of admin and moderator changes over the years, and it's been it's been quite a ride. So it says I have a slow connection. You have a slow connection on Facebook, not me. But if anybody has any questions or any suggestions, let me know. If you're not watching now, and I'm going to tag this for the group, so watch it later. Comment if you have any suggestions. Comment if you have any questions about the group. One of our new moderators, Jeremy Batchelor, started a cool thing where he's doing giveaways and having contests and trying to get people to, word of mouth by getting that word out there about us. Because there are a lot more Friday the 13th groups out there that have a hell of a lot more members. And I'm not going to talk trash. Don't worry. But I am gonna say sometimes these groups get so big it's hard to moderate because it's like 100 members to one moderator, a couple thousand members to one moderator. I try to keep a good amount of moderators for the size group that we have. I probably will be adding some more. So, because we are slowly growing again. When I say slowly, that is exactly what it is. And that's why I'll put posts out there. Feel free, guys. Feel free. At the top of the page, there's a button that says invite. Now, when you hit that button, it doesn't mean your friends are invited right away. It sends them a notification. So say you sent them a request to 1,000 people. 1,000 people are going to get a request saying, would you like to accept the invitation to join this group? Hey, Jason Pitts. And it's up to your friend to click that button to say accept. Once they hit that button, then they're part of the group. So don't feel like you're forcing your friend to be here. Facebook gives them the option to say yes or no. And if they say no, they will not be part of the group, obviously. And if they accept, they then will be part of the group. So I always get questions like, I don't want to add my friend who might not want to join. Like, you're not. You're just giving them the option. You're giving them the option to join our group. So don't worry about pissing off your friends or anything. I deal with this question a lot. And just try to get the word of mouth out there. A couple of my other groups have been taking off. If you guys don't know, I run plenty of groups, not just this Friday the 13th group. One of my groups that has been hitting on full power lately is Halloween 3 Season of the Witch group. Man, I get requests every day, and it's crazy. And I don't accept just everyone, because there's a lot of anyone who runs groups out there. Word of advice: there's a lot of spam out there, a lot of scammers, a lot of bots, and they'll try to join your group with the intent of spreading more spam. So don't just, this is a free piece of advice, don't just click accept. Make sure that they have a, if it's a horror group, have a horror reputation. A lot of times they'll say, this person's part of X amount of groups. Now, if you see them part of like 500, 600 groups, there's a red flag right there. If it's something like part of 50-something groups, you have the option to click on what groups they're a part of and kind of mix and match, like if they're joining a Friday the 13th group and it's all Disney stuff, it's probably not the right group for them. Not to say you can't like both. You can like both. But if they don't have anything else besides like one particular category, if they have a group that says the horror masters of the world or something like that, they're probably a safe bet to join your group. But you gotta be careful because, like I said, there's so many spam and bots out there that they're itching for you to click that accept button. So that's my free piece of advice. I've been doing this for, my oldest group will be 17 years old next year. That's the Hair Metal Haven group for you guys who are fans of 80s and 90s hair metal. I do have 2 different groups for that. I have that, and then I have one that's a lot like the old Headbangers Ball show from MTV, back when they showed videos. And it's called Father Mahoney's Headbangers Ball. I am having a great Wednesday, and that's why I decided to do this video, because a week ago I posted that I was going to go live and answer you guys' questions and take suggestions, and got to tell that cool story of how the group was born. That's one of my favorite stories. and this group is very sacred to me. I have a lot of groups. I probably run about 20 something groups, but this group has always been special to me. And yeah, I made some great friendships out of this group. Lost some close friends due to illnesses, and so I hold this group like very dear to my heart. And yes, I'm not. I know I'm not supposed to get all mushy on a Friday the 13th group. That's not what we're about. We're about Jason Voorhees. We're about Mrs. Pamela Voorhees. We're about the final girls, right? But it's funny how people can connect through something like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween or even one of my other favorites, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's funny how that we can connect through something so powerful. And I say powerful because, a lot of times, for me at least, I used horror movies as an escape from like real life when I was a kid. And, it's weird that your escape is watching a serial killer butcher a lot of people, but and that's not indicative of something I want to do. But it's an escape from reality because it's you can put your mind somewhere else instead of your troubles. That, like, for me, it was depression. It was getting picked on. So perfectly fine to get mushy about Friday the 13th, friends and mom. You're right, Kevin. But it is an escape if you think about it, guys. Because while we love these movies, the and yes, I guess there could be a killer running around, but now we have the zombie Jason, and it becomes to the point where reality and movies show themselves. So there's I don't think there's ever going to be a zombie. Maybe I guess zombie apocalypse, we say, maybe, but the chances that I will ever see one is slim to none. So, and like I love that's another genre of horror. I love zombie movies. By the way, has anyone seen Train to Busan? I've always wanted to ask this question because I absolutely adore that movie. That movie. There's something about Japanese, Asian horror that they know how to get to you. They know how to mess with your psyche and your emotions. And that movie breaks the fuck out of me at the end. So, if anybody's seen, I just had to throw that out there. I was just because I rewatched it again the other day, and it's even better the second, third time because, like most movies, you pick up on things you might have missed the first time. And I was like, oh, I don't remember this part. And it just makes the movie more powerful. Same with Friday the 13th. The first time I ever watched Friday the 13th, here's another cool story, is I was maybe 13 years old. Maybe 12. And first time I ever saw a Friday the 13th movie was on HBO. Back in the day when HBO had that cool entrance and they'd come into the city and and I saw Friday the 13th Part 2 for the first time. And I had to end up watching Part 1 because the whole beginning and Mrs. Voorhees kind of like fucked with me, like, huh, what did I miss? Because they start off like most Friday the 13th movies in the beginning. They start off with the last movie, and so I was like, wait a minute. So Jason's back to get the revenge of his mother, and you see the mother's head beheaded, which kind of ruined the movie for me because now when I'm watching the first one, it's like, oh shit, I know how this ends now. But Mrs. Voorhees was a terrific killer, and you sympathize with her. That's the thing I love about the original Friday the 13th is, and I love. You ever guys watch these reaction channels, and you see these like Gen Zs watching Friday the 13th for the first time. They know about like the hockey mask, and they know about Jason, but every single one of them get blown away when this movie reveals that Mrs. Voorhees is the killer. And then they go on to watch part two, and they still don't get the mask. They get the sackhead Jason. And so they end up watching all the movies just to finally get to three. And now by three they're hooked. So it's funny to watch these Gen Zs watch the movies we grew up on. Because ours isn't ours is not woke friendly. So I hate when they comment about, well, you're gonna get canceled, bro. Like, huh? Like, we didn't have cancellations. We didn't have things like that when we grew up. And that's why I've always said I'm afraid to make new Friday the 13th because of that woke aspect. I don't know if any studio is gonna go old school road with this, and so that's why I'm afraid of continuing the series, because this is a different time, a different place, different generation. And yes, the Friday the 13th will still always get love from us, the Gen Xers, but I'm afraid that studios won't push the envelope. Now, one studio that always pushes is the guys from Terrifier. I gotta hand it to them. Are they perfect movies? No. Are they kind of sloppily done a little bit? Yes. But they push that envelope, and I appreciate that. They push that envelope of how extreme their kills can get. And the same studio is now remaking the most controversial horror of all time, Silent Night, Deadly Night. It's gonna get a unrated screen release December 12th. I am front row. I'm not missing this. This is a movie that I always wanted for it to get its flowers, and I think in the category of Christmas horror, I think it does get its flowers along with Black Christmas, obviously. But as far as like overall, I get it. Yeah, we all grew up believing in Santa Claus. I get it. Yeah, we were told about how Santa Claus gives you gifts and presents, and you send him a list and he checks it twice. I get it. But, I'm a big advocate for horror movies like that, especially being just for adults. And I agree with the NC-17s, and I agree with that. Because a movie like that definitely shouldn't be viewed by... Now, let me get back to my story of how I got into horror. So, after watching Friday the 13th Part 2, you'll see why I'm getting back to this. We had a local video store, and I still live only about half an hour from there, but I don't think the video store is open anymore. Anyways, I'm getting off track. So I would go in there with my mom, and my mom would let me rent PG movies, mostly comedies, but I'd always sneak off to the horror section, because the horror movie covers used to be the greatest thing ever. You would rent movies just by looking at the cover, right? And Kevin's back. Hey, Kevin. And so one day, I know the guy wasn't going to do it, but I go there on my bike on my own time, and I bring up a couple of movies. And I think the first movie I grabbed was Gore Gore Girls. That's it. It's a typical slasher movie. Uh, let's see what taking. I agree about you making any more Friday the 13th movies. The fan films are sufficient for me. Agreed. And I will address the fan films in a second too. So yeah, and of course the owner of the place is like, no, I can't rent this to you, Bob. That my name I used to go by when I was a kid was Bobby, and he sees me. I have a down face, and he's like, fine. He goes, I'm gonna put this under your mother's account, but if you're caught with them, I know nothing about it. Because back then, you couldn't look up your own account. There was no cell phones, so so we had an agreement, and every week I would rent. You could rent like for 3-4 days, and every week I would build up my threshold and watch more and more horror movies. And I just became infatuated with them. I became infatuated with Jason, Michael, Leatherface, Freddy. Actually, I think Freddy had just come around at that point because this was 1980. Yeah, it's 1984, so I was 13, and yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street came out. I was watching Prom Night and Carrie, and I mean, every week it was something different. And yeah, so I became a big horror fan early, and yeah, so that's how I became a horror movie fan. But to talk about what Kevin just talked about, uh, fan films. I absolutely love fan films. We have the Friday the 13th Vengeance series. We have Never Hike Alone series, obviously. Victim No More. Victim No More. My name is a character. My full name is a character in that movie. Directed by Bobby Heckman. Hey, Bobby, if you watch this. Uh, he used my old name. Like I said, I grew up with the name Bobby, and there is a Bobby Mahoney in Victim No More. So, so if anybody hasn't seen Victim No More, go check it out. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna start shouting out some fan films soon on the group because these are fans. Friday the 13th fans making movies for Friday the 13th fans. And are they sometimes a little cheesy? Yes, but that's what we love. We love cheese, and they're not afraid. They're not afraid to push that envelope too. And so I'm kind of grateful in a way for the lawsuit. After they made the reboot. We had the lawsuit between Cunningham and Victor Miller, and because I think it gave a fresh new light of filmmakers to dive into their theories of Jason Voorhees. Sometimes we've had an original movie, sometimes we've had a unofficial sequel to a movie, and I think it's great, especially the Never Hike Alone series. I think it's great that some of the alumni came back to be part of these things, like Tom Matthews, and I'm gonna butcher his name, Vinny Gustrafoni. I probably butchered the hell out of his name from Jason Lives, deputy. Uh, wherever the red duck goes, you bang. That guy. So it's great to see a fresh outlook on the things we know, and Vengeance is another one. Vengeance has, I think, 2 movies now. I'm not sure if they're working on a third one, but Victim No More. Voorhees is another one out there. uh, Blood Loss, another one out there. So there's There's plenty of great fan films. Just go into your YouTube and just search Friday the 13th fan films, and you'll have a whole list of stuff there. And like I said, I think it's a fresh breath of air for the series because I mean, by the time the Freddy vs. Jason came out, we were all like, we were all happy finally that we were going to get it, but obviously, we didn't get Kane Hodder, and Ken did a great job. Don't get me wrong, but I think at that point, the Friday the 13th series was starting to run out of ideas, and I kind of like the idea of the reboot. The reboot took 1 through 3 and kind of combined it to one movie. We start up in the beginning. We have Jason's mom, blah blah blah, and you go through the movie, and he's killing people with the sack head, and then finally he finds the mask. So we get 1 through 3 kind of quick recap with a new look, with a new fresh outlook. So I kind of appreciated that movie for what it was, because think about it, guys. Is it a perfect reboot? No. You guys know how I feel about remakes and reboots. I'm not the biggest fan. There has been some exceptions, but I've not always been the biggest fan of them. Yeah, but of the 4 movies of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of the Nightmare on Elm Street, especially that one, Halloween, and of course Friday the 13th, I think we were one of the lucky ones to get a really good one. Great kills. Derek Mears. Can we talk about Derek Mears for a second? Menacing. Absolutely. That scene in the beginning when he's running at her. Oh, I was terrified. It takes a lot for me to get scared, especially at Jason. Because Jason really is, he almost became the anti-hero. You began cheering for Jason. Like, how is Jason going to kill this person now? But I was absolutely floored on how good Derek Mears was. By the way, I got to meet Derek Mears, most amazing dude ever. Like, he cares about his fans. He will talk to you. He will not just, here's your autograph and get out of here now. He literally will talk to you, and very nice dude. Have nothing but great things to say. If you haven't met Derek Mears and you have a convention coming near you and he's there, I highly suggest you spend your money and go talk to him. Like I said, he will make it worth your while. So I haven't been able to do a convention in a while. My last convention was 2018. Rocket Shock in Worcester, Massachusetts. I meant to go to Cherrycon this year for Worcester, Massachusetts, because Rocket Shock has moved on now. But Cherrycon was here, and they had a great lineup. But I'm hoping next year. So, because if anybody saw my video, anybody that's been on my YouTube channel, I posted a video of meeting these fantastic people like Adrian King, Felissa Rose. So I can never say enough great things about Felissa Rose. Anyways, if you guys are convention goers, I give you much love, because it's so worth it. I say a good 90% of the people are worth standing in line for. There are some that I think are there just for the money, but meeting especially Bill Moseley was amazing. Bill Moseley is one of my horror icons. And I met Bruce Campbell too. So Bill Moseley and Bruce Campbell in one day, can't go wrong. Anyways, getting back to Friday the 13th. If you guys who watch this later on have any suggestions, have any ideas, or maybe you want to become part of the team. If you want to be part of the team, be a moderator. DM me. Yeah, I just asked a couple things. That you're kind of an active person. You don't have to be here every single day, but post every once in a while, or check the group every once in a while. Like, hey, are there anybody requesting to join the group? Check over, make sure they're cool, and just be a little knowledgeable too about Friday the 13th. And hope you have, if you have admin or moderator experience, that helps too. If not, we'll do on-the-job training. So. But thank you guys. Thank you especially for the comments. Thank you for listening to me ramble on. Thank you for being part of our family. We love you guys. And the alumni, I know the alumni appreciate Friday the 13th still living on vicariously through us. So keep coming. Keep adding your friends. Much love, guys. And it's Tanya, you just joined and I'm about to leave. But yes, Tanya Glass, one of my my dear friends and admins. She's been here. She's been with the Friday the 13th alumni group since pretty much the beginning. So I'm about to leave, guys. This video will be available in a couple minutes. Just refresh your page. Come back give it about 5-10 minutes. Refresh your page and rewatch this. If you, like I said, you have any questions, have any comments, have any suggestions, leave a comment down below. Okay. I've been here for a good 35 minutes now, so. But I know you have, Tanya, I know you have some amazing things going on right now, and bless you, girl. So, rewatch the video. You could comment on the video too. If there's something I say during the video, don't feel free like, oh, I'm not commenting to anybody. I will still see your comments. So, much love, guys. May Friday the 13th live on, and Friday the 13th alumni forever, guys.